Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we will be going through this coloring page together. I will start it with you, and then we'll see where will we stop. And as we color this coloring page from Animals by Joseph Kettenbang, I will also work on, or actually answer, unpopular coloring questions, the unpopular opinions coloring questions tag, hosted by Color Mama 360. Now then, let's start. Hmm. Okay, so let's start with the first question. What's a super popular coloring book you just did not connect with? Okay, so for me, I actually have a couple that I already gave away. So actually, all of the ones that I gave away were Johanna Basford and Millie Murata. Now, then, it's not that their style does not fit with me. Actually, some of Johanna Basford's books are still, or I still have some of her books, and I love them. But, for example, Secret Garden and Lost Ocean were just too much for me. I think I did not enjoy the details, or maybe it's just that because they were um, at the beginning of my coloring journey and I just didn't know where to start. Maybe I have no idea, but to be honest, I had the books for a long, long while, and then I noticed that I'm not even coloring in them anymore, so I gave them to a couple of friends, and I think their children are making a very good use of them. On the other hand, for Mili Maratta, I did not even try to buy the books. I mean, the style looks good if, from a collector's point of view. Like, if I'm collecting her books, I would keep them as they are, the Zen Doodly style. But for me, especially as someone who does not enjoy the Zen Doodly stuff, I think if I want to color them, I won't be able to. Now, of course, some people do amazing jobs with these, and who knows, I actually do change my mind on some of this stuff from time to time. So maybe if I'm like 100% better and I have something in mind for one of the books, I will buy one of her books at one point. But for now, I don't think I'm going to do that anytime soon. Now then, do you prefer simple or highly detailed pages? So, I actually thought when I started coloring that I would prefer the simple pages, but here's the deal. Actually, simple pages are even harder to color than the detailed ones. Like, you see the one I'm coloring right now? So, for this one, for example, it's fairly easy to just go with colors, and even if you did not add shading, it won't really feel like the page is missing anything. So the whole illustration will look complete in the end, even without the shading. And as someone who has been in this dilemma before, where I would choose a simple page and I just feel like, oh my God, this needs a background, or this needs some extra shading here and extra shading there, and especially if I'm a beginner and I'm not really sure where to start, I do not think actually that simple pages are the answer. Is that true for all? I don't think so. Some people actually love the simplicity and they enjoy just focusing on an element or two. So far, that has not been me. Now then. On the other hand, I have some people I know who actually prefer stuff like Hannah Carlson, Kristen Karen, the only portrait stuff. So that stuff for me lies like in the middle. So it's not a detailed page, but it's not also a super uh, easy page. Now then, do you prefer alcohol markers or colored pencils? Okay, so for me, this answer actually varies a lot. So if it's about what I prefer, I actually like alcohol markers more, but I do love colored pencils, except maybe it's just a physical limitation for me because uh, after a while my hands really hurt if I'm using colored pencils. So this just adds like a layer of uncomfortableness to the process, which is why my colored pencils pages usually take quite a bit of time. Now, do I still love colored pencils? Yes. But what I found to be like a lot better is actually using a mix of both. So right now I'm just like basing this page with the alcohol markers, and then I will go on top with colored pencils. This saves time and it helps if you have like issues or if your hand hurts a lot if you color for a while and so on. Okay. Um, okay. Is it okay to have whips? Yes, definitely. It's really okay. Now, I am not the type to have a lot of whips. And actually, there is one more thing. Usually, if something is a whip in my book, I don't feel connected to it, and it ends up as a whip forever. So it's just something that I have to work on. But it's definitely okay if you want to leave something as a whip, or if you don't want to complete something and you have to wait a couple of years and then go back to it. It's totally fine. And nobody actually should feel ashamed if they have a lot of whips. It's really okay and it's fine. Now, what else? What's one illustrator style that isn't for you? Um, I think it's the same. It's Mili Morata. The cute and cozy stuff. Now, I love how the books look, but I don't feel connected to them. I think the maximum or the one that I felt okay with that could be kind of cute is the Morgan O'Brien stuff, like the Annie page and so on. Uh, and I actually was not even like, I have only one of the Morgan O'Brien Matchstick Mouse books, and it's not bad. It just like I did not connect with the mouse books for some reason, so I ended up with just the Annie one, and I love it. On the other hand, who knows, maybe like I don't like keeping myself or giving myself limitations. So maybe at one point I will feel that I want to try uh, the cute and cozy stuff more than now. I have one book now, and I don't think you're gonna see it anytime soon because it's uncolored. But if I decide that it's time to color it, uh, maybe soon I will have some type of a preference for these. Maybe. I don't know. Mm, okay. Do you think adult coloring books are getting too repetitive? Um, no, I don't think so. Here's the deal. I think for adult coloring books, the themes could be repetitive. Like you would find fairy tale themes for every illustrator. You would find mystic theme for every illustrator. You could find something like um, uh, a princess or a fantasy theme for tons of illustrators. But the unique part about this is that each illustrator usually have his or her own style. And even if the subject is repetitive, uh, when they uh, create that subject in their own style, it's it feels like it's a new illustration from the beginning. And for that part, especially for someone like me who loves uh, like uh, trying different art styles, I don't feel that this means that the books are repetitive at all. Are limited edition books or hard to find books overhyped? Yes. So I actually don't live anywhere near the current, the US or anything like that. I actually live in the Middle East, which means that even these books that I'm doing or working on right now are actually hard to find, and most of them I get imported and I have to wait a lot and all that stuff. So, the limited edition books, especially given my situation, and probably many of the coloring people who do not live in the US, uh, having special editions maybe for specified uh, areas, specified countries, all that stuff, especially if these books are like being resold for uh, super crazy prices, is not ideal. I believe this, or any hobby actually, should be somehow uh, available. And maybe if these like special editions are later on available in PDFs or maybe something like that to buy, that would make it way easier for people. So you have like the very limited edition stuff that are priced high for people, and you have the PDF that people can buy maybe a couple of years after the special edition is discontinued or something. Sorry about that. So I finally got the cat to move. Now, let's start over from the true or false part. Now, you don't need to swatch supplies. Of course, that's not true. So, if you're not gonna swatch supplies, you will have really mismatching colors on the page because you cannot trust that this is gonna be the same on the paper. So, no. Now, when or where would I think that not swatching supplies is fine? If it's a small set of pencils, for example, and you're so used to it that you just know the colors by just using the pencil or just uh, opening the pack or whatever. So if you're used to it that much, it's really not worth it to have a swatch card on hand. And actually, I have a set like that. It's the very old set of uh, colored pencils that I've had since forever, and it's actually like children's supplies, so you won't really find many people who use it. But I still use it when I travel or when I just don't want to think, because I know exactly how each and every pencil works. And I don't have a swatch card with that set at all. Now, cute and cozy books are worth the hype. Yes and no. I don't know how to answer this one. Okay, so it's true for people who are actually enjoying it, and at the same time, well, I feel that the art is kind of repetitive, but some people just even if the art is repetitive, you have this amazing amount of people who would just, even if it's the same page, they can probably color it in like 8 different ways, and all the special effects and stuff they can do on the page. So it's amazing in its own way. So I can't really say it's overhyped, especially given the amount of creativity that some people come up with on these pages. So yeah. Mm, mm. Okay then. What else? Collecting coloring books is part of the hobby. I would say yes. Still, I have like a partial opinion here. So it is and it's not. So it could be that you're collecting. For me, it's collecting art styles more than the coloring books themselves. So maybe I won't have the same or like many coloring books for each artist, but I do want to have a coloring book for as many artists as possible with different styles. So I think it counts as collecting coloring books in some ways, but unless I really, really am in love with uh, the the artist and I know I will color most of their work, I probably won't, or I don't think I will collect all their stuff. So yeah, you need social media to really be able to participate in the coloring community. Yes. So if your intention from coloring is finding a community, of course you need social media. Now, I've been coloring since like 2018 or something, and I have only started using social media recently. Coloring for me was just a hobby that I use whenever I'm down. It helps me reset my mind and just maybe think through things. So it wasn't always about the community, and I did not care at first. Of course, the community is amazing, and when I started sharing my stuff, so many people have seen my stuff and commented nice things. So that's an extra bonus. But when I started, that wasn't my aim. But still, the moment I decided I want to be a part of the community, there I am on social media. So social media, yes, is essential. Okay. Now, coloring is not something you do while doing other stuff. Definitely false. Coloring is something you can do while doing most of the stuff you have in mind. I've colored while watching TV, I've colored while talking to people, I've colored while traveling. I've probably colored while doing most of almost anything. I think the only thing I didn't do while coloring is working, and of course, for obvious reasons. So, yeah. Hello, editing Nora here. So this part was not recorded. So let me answer the final question. Budget supplies are just as good as artist quality? Definitely no. But if you know your way around supplies, you can probably do or get very good results. I know people who use Color, for example, and they love it. So yeah, why not? And that's it. See you.